I know you, Sagittarius, by your energy, curiosity, and enthusiasm, by your straight, arrow-swift motion through space, by the pell-mell race you run against time. I know you by your need to know, and the wide-awake laughing look in your Jupiter eyes, for the archer is always aiming at a new and moving target called knowing, and usually hitting it right in the center.
I have seen you, Sagittarius, with an open heart heading for the clean open air, sharing what you think and what you have, impulsive, honestly giving of yourself, untiring in your desire to simplify and reduce life to basic, clear terms, trying to make life as open and uncluttered as the open air you need.
I have heard you, Sagittarius, smiling and saying it as you believe it to be, choosing the real words, not always sparing the feelings of others, but dignifying them by telling them the truth as you know it.
Sagittarius, your word is candid, from the Latin candidus, meaning sincere.
If you need an employer who does the thinking for you, and if you like a sane, predictable situation that rolls on like the mighty Mississippi without changing course, should you be the highly sensitive type who must be handled with tact and kid gloves, don't work for a Sagittarius. He's impulsive, restless, and as tactful as a Sherman tank. You'll have to learn to live with the way he says what's on his mind. The idea of intrigue and secrecy is alien to him. He runs his business with the same candor as he conducts his personal life, and that's an awesome recommendation. However, Sagittarius is a sensitive, generous executive. He doesn't operate in a straitjacket, and he doesn't expect that you will either. He's exciting to work for, if you can let the bluntness pass. And he doesn't mean to hurt you, it just comes out that way.
If your firm has an opening, and what you have in mind is a quiet sort of person who doesn't make waves, keeps to himself and stays out of your way, and your hair, if the last thing in the world you need is another idea man, don't hire a Sagittarius. He makes his presence felt in one way or another. He'll be curious about everything that's going on, and there are some that can do a 20-minute routine during a 5-minute coffee break. As for ideas, they'll fly like arrows at Custer's last party. They may sound like Rube Goldberg's inventions, but just one could be a major breakthrough for your organization. With encouragement and some chance to change the scenery from time to time, you can have a very good thing going when you hire a Sagittarian. What makes Sagittarius optimistic? The planet Jupiter is a harmonious planet. It rules the elements denoting hope, spirituality, and good fortune. It endows the native with a sense of well-being that is difficult to dim. This is indeed a person born under a lucky star. And somehow, he knows this intuitively, and so is ever confident of the future.
What makes Sagittarius generous? Jupiter rules the arterial system of the body, distributing the warmth and sustenance, which creates the sense of abundance within the native. creating also a constant expansion, an overflow of good feelings that makes the archer want to share what he has and what he is.
What makes Sagittarius impulsive? Jupiter is electric, masculine, and positive. It also indicates a forward motion, an irrepressible urge to assert and to become. The native must express, and with his inner sense of well-being, will do so, with less caution than more timid souls would display.
What makes Sagittarius? Faith. For Jupiter is reverential, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. The Sun in Sagittarius and the Moon in Aries is a way out front native. You wake up every morning, all systems go. Every day is a race that you're not only going to win, but in which you will establish new records. Restless, enthusiastic, and energetic, you're always seeking new worlds to conquer. Also, there are new ideas to set in motion, and very few obstacles big enough to stop you.
You are one of the fortunates who doesn't have too much to prove to others or to himself when the archer's moon is in the sign of the bull. Learning for the sake of learning, and the fulfillment one gets from just knowing. Seeking love in its purest sense and finding all loves in one. You take people as you find them, making them more than they knew they could be, by just being very much yourself and staying close always to the music.
Sagittarius with a Gemini moon can mean a smooth talker who likes to cover ground. You're another one of the restless natives. You like to move and make your presence known wherever you are. You have a double-quick mind, and your tempo can knock the devil out of your nervous system. But you always recover, because you just can't sit still. You have to be out there among them, letting them know they've been missing something. You.
The Sun in Sagittarius and the Moon in Cancer is capable of dreaming the impossible dream and having it happen. Your approach is distinctly yours. Whatever you do springs from your imagination, which is as unique as your thumbprint. One quality that fire and water have in common is that uncontained they spread. This is your Achilles heel, because it feels so good to just let yourself go.
Sagittarius with the moon in Leo is the archer king of the mountain. You ascend to the top of the mountain because you have courage, and you are crowned because you have worth. This is the combination where the positive and noble qualities of man appear to come together. You can achieve the highest aspirations, gain the whole world, and never compromise your honor or your soul.
The word and the thought are close together when the Sagittarian moon is in Virgo. You know how to present your case, in a courtroom or out of it. You have a cool head and can store knowledge for use when you need it. You're self-aware without being self-conscious. You respect principle and people, and uphold them both, no matter what the personal cost.
The Sagittarian with the Libran moon finds harmony in personal relationships and also self-fulfillment. People are a good bet for you because you're optimistic and believe in them. Much of the security and the comfort you seek is a direct result of those who love you and befriend you. However, there is perception behind that personable facade that can spot a counterfeit faster than you can say FBI.
You are nobody's keeper but your own when the archer and the Scorpion moon get together. You start fast and alone, and finish faster. You have the physical, intellectual, and emotional strength to make your life work. There is temper here, and the scorpion tongue can jab deep and draw blood if provoked. However, you are easy with $1 and generous with your time, but always know what you are doing with both.
Don't fence me in, and it's pretty difficult to do when both the sun and the moon is in Sagittarius. All the Sagittarian qualities are raised to the nth power. Impulsiveness, restlessness, and curiosity will take this native to far places, either in mind or in geography. This is a gentle adventurer who touches the world with a warm hand and asks only that the world allows him to get a better look at it.
Strength through thought is the root of your progress if the Sagittarian moon is in Capricorn. The climbing ambition of the goat takes the form of intellect, and progress is equated with intellectual attainment. The more you know, the more you grow, and the higher you go. Yours is a well-organized ascent, for you believe everything in its place, anything, anywhere, what a disgrace.
Sagittarius rhymes with Aquarius. And when the Sagittarian moon is Aquarian, that rhyme is part of a song. It is the music of ideals for which you are able to find the words. And like any good song, there is something vaguely familiar and at the same time strikingly original about it. Your message is one of hope for everyone, and you can always find ears that appreciate your words and music, and other voices to sing them and keep your message alive.
The Sagittarian with his moon in Pisces is the archer who aims his arrow at a target deep inside himself. You're the one who does not care to shoot down the sun, moon, or stars, but simply to be content that they are where they are, and you can look at them and appreciate them when you want to. Your goal is cultivation of the spirit, and all the gold, power, and fame in the universe could not satisfy you half as much as that reality. Three is the number of looking forward, and it is Sagittarian's only view of the world. He doesn't look back. 3 is the numerical indication of expression, and the archer is always seeking ways to express. 3 are the rings of the circus, and Sagittarians are happy when there is open air, animals, bright colors, and tents that contain wonders. 3 was the number of masts on the old sailing ships, and Sagittarius is the journeyer of the Zodiac. 3 is the number most associated with religion, and the archer, though he may shed dogma, will always have a capacity for believing. This is the key to his optimism. 3 is the number of development, and the Sagittarian curiosity is rooted in his need to understand and to grow.
Because turquoise is a stone of sky blue and sea green, and because the sky is space in which to fly, and the sea is space on which to sail, and both are mirrors of freedom, they are Sagittarian's gem. Turquoise is a gently bright stone. It is neither as obvious as Leo's ruby or as hard as Aries' diamond, but it reflects more joy and more honest laughter. Nevertheless, the turquoise is neither as memorable or as permanent as the ruby or the diamond. And the archer has this to remind him, that he may travel and never look back or remember that which he left behind, but in turn, he forsakes the right to be remembered.
Color Sagittarius blue. as blue as a fresh morning after the mist is gone, as blue as a bluebell, or a bluebird, or bluegrass, or any growing thing which is blue, as blue as the sunset silhouettes of animals in pasture. For the archer is never far from nature, and if he strays too far from the natural and growing things, he loses part of himself.
So, Sagittarius, enjoy your three-ring circus. Escape in the blue-green mirror of the turquoise. See the blue shadows of sunsets in far places. The thing to ask yourself is, when the journey is over, where will you be? And who will be with you?
In love, Sagittarius? Did I say something funny? Oh, you weren't laughing at the question, just the color of my shirt. We were talking about your being in love. The truth is, you'd prefer to fall in love and not get serious. I mean, with all that action out there. And on the other hand, with this one, you just don't know. The thing you like is that it's fun and, well, you just wish you could put your finger on it. All you can say is that, so far, it looks great.
In love with the Sagittarius man, my girl? I hope you have a sense of humor. I hope you can take a joke. You'll have to listen to quite a few before the talk gets serious. Then it might be you who has to start talking. And when his answer comes, it won't sound like a valentine. It will sound like an emotional ledger sheet. If it balances yes, he'll be surprised. He has this thing about being free. But the thing is, as much as he resists total involvement, it's the most necessary ingredient for his growth. If you convince him, one thing you're sure to have, the novelty of truth. He'll never lie to you.
In love with a Sagittarius girl, my boy? You do like three-ring circuses. And you do like to move around a lot. And it doesn't really bother you if she has a remarkable number of male friends. Well, that's how the lady is. She is not for the guy with the delicate ego. Also, she doesn't have secrets. Whatever you want to know, she'll tell you. If you can't handle the facts, let the circus move on without you. Her compulsion is to be open, and hypocrisy is something she doesn't understand or engage in. There's a lot of tomboy in her heart, and she'll always, in one way or another, be one of the boys. She will never be the proverbial bird in the cage. She likes to fly. She must fly. But if she loves you, and she wouldn't be with you otherwise, she'll be back. She probably didn't go very far. It's just that she likes to know that love does not a prison make. Truth is, she probably followed a stray pussycat, or took in the flower show.
Out of love, Sagittarius? Not again. In a way, it's a relief. In another, it hurts like the devil.
Sagittarius begins with the need to know why. To him, things must make sense, and nothing will be accepted at face value. The young archer's thoughts will be his arrows, and no targets will be off limits. The native will be bright, at times precocious, and his mind in a constant ferment. His sense of humor will never fail him. His need to feel good about people and to be accepted by them endows him with a highly developed personality. This child will need outdoor living and will love animals. He grows best in the environment of honesty. Hypocrisy confuses him, and he will never understand the reason for it. His curiosity will be unlimited, and when he asks a question, he will be prepared to wait forever for the right answer.
In his second season, the Sagittarian will cut the umbilical cord clean. Usually wanderlust claims him. He may even develop some Don Quixote tendencies and run off to right the wrongs of the world. He may stumble in and out of personal and professional situations, creating animosity because of his lack of tact and diplomacy. But he blunders happily, and like the English, muddles through. His profound need will be to calm his restless mind and to control an optimism that defies the law of gravity.
In his third season, the Sagittarian who has learned by living realizes the value of purpose in action. He ceases traveling for the sake of traveling. He seeks relationships that have a better chance of succeeding. It is then the archer selects a target worthy of his skills. And when he lets the arrow fly, it will hit its mark. With his excellent mental equipment, his honesty, candor, irrepressible personality, and unwavering optimism, he runs up a high score.
In his fourth season, the Sagittarian begins his final journey home. Time will not have lessened his optimism or his curiosity or dampened his enthusiasm. He'll have made 1,000 friends who will have accepted him on his terms, no punches pulled. There will be animals and a place to grow things and a pair of eyes still bright and looking ahead. For Sagittarian men and women alike, to become is to see beyond what is, simply by asking, why?
I believe that cosmic religious sense is one of the strongest and noblest motives behind scientific research. Albert Einstein. I hold it for certain that the celestial bodies have in them certain other influences besides heat and light. I have practiced astrology, and you have not. If I do not condemn it, how can you presume to do so? Sir Francis Bacon. It is the stars above us, governs our conditions. William Shakespeare. Ye stars, which are the poetry of heaven, in your bright leaves we would read the fate of men and empires. Lord Byron. Astrology is astronomy brought down to earth and applied to the affairs of man. Ralph Waldo Emerson. We of the fixed stars have rejected the message of the wanderers of the sky. Do they not tell us of things to come as well as of things long past, buried in the racial memory of man? Henry Miller. It is the very error of the moon. She comes more near to earth than she was wont, and makes men mad. From Othello by William Shakespeare. We are born at a given moment, in a given place. And like vintage years of wine, we have the qualities of the year and the season in which we are born. Astrology does not lay claim to anything more. Carl Jung.